Alrighty. Should be plenty good to keep going now. So for anyone who might be somehow watching back in the future for this, uh, today, because I am not working this week, it seems like I've got a lot of extra free time to try and finish this Monster Hunter World Cove to Roth art before Rise comes out later this week. So we're going to see how far we can get on that today. Yesterday we finished up the sketching and started lining, we lined out basically the entire foreground to what I thought until I remembered that there's at least one more thing I want to add and one thing I want to change real quick. First thing I want to do is I want to change, if you notice here on the, where the pillar connects to the ceiling, this pillar is supposed to be more of the central focal point of the room, and where it connects, because of the ratio of spikes in front of it and behind it, it looks a lot more further towards the back. So we're going to probably both bring the stalactites down a little bit and also have it raise up further into them. And then we want to add our cat. I almost completely forgot that we wanted to be adding our cat, Duncan. So we flying in, possibly holding a Vigor Wasp to help out our hunter. Things I changed for today, I was able to, I think, finally fix the chat box. The chat box, which will be popping up underneath me right here. And then, and I can actually read you from a lot easier rather than with a bit of a delay, which I had been doing. So hopefully that'll help it. Give a quick shout out to people who I know might want to watch. I almost said stream 4, but it's stream 3. In blue font. Perfect. Alright, let's get drawing then. So again, first things first, real quick, just for a little bit of cleaning up, we want to actually properly fix the perspective a little bit here. So we're going to erase some of the lines that are going to be below this, just for the clarity of mind that I'll have that they are erased, and I can always fix them later if I want to. And we're going to, that's about fine, honestly. Doesn't matter if they're clean or not, because we're going to just go over them later anyways. And then we're going to take our select tool here and select all of our bottom row stalactites, because we want to move those down to help with our perspective. I mean, because of perspective and that things are far away, of course it's going to look like there's just less volume in general behind this pillar in the middle, but still it looks a little bit weird just because of how much of a contrast there is, and we want that pillar to look more in the center of this giant room that we've created rather than the far back of it. And I gotta hold down shift over here because I don't have that programmed to my keys, to my express remote, because I have my express remote kind of programmed for drawing comics, not so much for drawing just pure art. Otherwise, I would just put it on there. It's a little bit awkward when you have such a tight space and not a lot of desk space to work with. Your arms can be spread really far out and giving yourself some shoulder cramps, so be careful of that. Alright, we got that. We're just gonna move it down a little bit. That automatically looks a whole lot better. Automatically looks a whole lot better. Go back to our pencil tool here that we use for sketching. Clean up a little bit, just because I like to see it. And then, as I said, we're going to probably come in here and have the pillar raise up further into spikes in the center here. Is my thought. Why don't we increase the size of our eraser a little bit, make that easier. Yeah. Yeah, you can see already how that makes it feel a lot more centered than it was before. Um, the other thing I might do is flare out the base a little bit to make the base a little bit wider. It's easy to do. Nice thing about digital drawing, little changes like that are quite easy to achieve. We want most of these faux kind of half stalactites in the background to be pretty small, but sometimes you can have a big one because it'll just suggest that it's really big. Yeah, this will be the really quick, short, easy part, and then we'll get at our friend here. Our friend, as you can see on the left, just that's what he ended up looking at, like at the end of the game. You get to the point where you beat the final boss, Fatalis, which, oh boy, was that a doozy to finally complete, and you just you get that extra costume, and his weapon of choice looks like a little hunter riding on his back. And he swings him around like a little doll. And I don't know if I'll do that, because I think instead of going for having him hold a weapon, I'm going to have him hold a Vigor Wasp, which is the little bugs in the game which the cats use to help heal you. I think it's going to be a lot more adorable and kind of create a cool little dynamic. It's a lot more movement than just a cat jumping. Perfect. Okay. Good enough for government work. If that's the phrase. And and this just kind of looks ugly because the disconnect, and that'll all be kind of fixed later when we go over with lines, which won't be too long, because we're pretty much about done with the line art in the foreground. But because so far it moved down, we definitely want to add a lot more clarity for how many of these stalactites are fully drawn out rather than just kind of half drawn out. I know some people will just call this sketch line detail like good enough. I wish I could do that, but my brain's like, no, you gotta have nice clean black lines you can later then add color to and change around and manipulate. It's to each their own. Cool. Alright, so now that that's done, we're gonna hide that sketch layer and go back to our foreground sketch layer. We can even hide our line art for now. And then we're gonna want to add in our cat, add Duncan in. So again, the thought is maybe have him swinging in overhead of the hunter right here, holding on to a little Vigor Wasp. And the Vigor Wasp, I don't have the reference on my left panel of references here, but I'll just pull them up on my phone. So it's like almost like I'm drawing that from memory. Wouldn't that be cool? If I could do that. Let's check everything here to make sure it's working. Everything looks good to me. Perfect. Alrighty. Let's see. Our cat. We'll start off with a little bit of a circle. The cat is maybe in comparison to the hunter that height, quite short, and they're further behind, so we don't want them to appear too big. We'll create a circle for where their body will be, and then a line of action. Their head being here, their head's gonna be more of an oval shape than a circle shape. But of course, well, I say that because as normal the cat head would be here, but in reality he's got this weird Fatalis head on, so his neck's gonna kind of crane down to create a funny pose. So we'll kind of have his his pillowy body shape, bigger, a little bit beanie, a little bigger on the bottom than on the top. His legs kind of up in the air because he's floating along. And then his head. Well, here's his quote unquote shoulders and where his neck's gonna be. So we want his head to be maybe about here, the head of this funky looking skull. To which the neck kind of goes up and down. It's gotta look really goofy. Shape of the head is kind of. Now, we could have it facing down, or we could kind of have open mouth going crazy, which might be funny. Yeah, that could be funny. Have like big gaping open mouth. Oh, goodness gracious. He's got a big chin. This mouth does. It kind of flares out almost into like the classic dragon face webbing. Lots of teeth. Gotta have the. Oh gosh, this looks so goofy. You know, it could be really cute having this adorable, fluffy little cat, you know, soaring along, being like, "I'm gonna help you, Hunter," but instead we got this demonic, dragon-faced looking little creature here. It's just like, "I'm gonna soaring and bust out the best healing I can." He's not doing all the attacking though. Although we need to give him a giant sword and see what he does. Also got like the big furry coat. It's just, I don't know why. Sometimes you pick things purely for the aesthetic because they look funny and cute. I always like to make my characters look cool. And then the cat's gotta look crazy like this. But of course the arms, I might have to move the body up in comparison to the head because the arms have to be able to kind of reach up a little bit. I need better. I should just have a good reference of Vigor Wasp delivery rather than just Vigor Wasp. So that's what it's called. Let's see if I type in Vigor Wasp delivery on Google here and see if I get a good reference image. No. Yeah, Vigor. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Might have to move the head down a little bit. Let's get rid of our guideline for our neck a little bit. We can figure that out in a second. But okay, so to be fair, I'm thinking, oh, his arms gotta wrap all the way around, but it's a gigantic bulbous little healing sac on the bottom of this bug, so it's more of just kind of gripping onto the bottom. And I don't know how the claws of the cat don't pop it, but they don't, and we're not gonna question it. Cause that'd be bad news bears for our hunter. And he's got his spiky horns going off to the side. And this is longer than that. See if we can, hopefully we'll have enough space to define the eye with the line width that we've chosen. We were drawing, if you're just now looking, wondering where we're at, the drawings we're using line widths of 3 pixels for our line art. And so we gotta be able to, hopefully that we can get enough detail in there. Should be able to see what we can do. But first we gotta continue to sketch. Yeah, maybe move the head down a little bit. I love the look of it though. It's adorable. And yeah, that looks a lot more chibi and a lot greater. back to our pencil tool, and then kind of figure out where his arms are going to be. First we're going to kind of mostly erase. I'm trying to use my hand and this is not a touch surface. Kind of lightly erase his body so I can kind of draw over it some more. We don't want to use the eraser on soft, we want to put it back on hard. He's got a coat on that kind of blends up. Fuzzy, big fuzzy. Let's see if we can. Okay. Gosh, maybe before we're doing that, we should figure out where his arms go. So if here's the side of his bean body, his arms are gonna connect here, and his hands are gonna be here. So the other arm is gonna be connected here. And the other hand's gonna probably be behind the head here. There we go. Arm something like that. Give him his little tubey arms. But in perspective, proportion to the rest of his body, and his arms are definitely not that long, so probably should just have his hands a lot further down than I'm thinking. I'm thinking in proportion of this being his actual head when it's not, so maybe his hand should be more like here. Makes a lot more sense. He's got big fluffy sleeves on too, so it's not like it'll be super obvious the definition of his arms. Cool. Basically, this entire space under here is gonna be fuzzy. And you gotta remember to switch back and forth between what eraser I'm using. I wish I had a better view of it. I don't. This side is, no, those are only photos of the hunter. That should be fine. He's got big fuzzy cuffs, so. The elbows there will probably be more like that. Perfect. Fuzzy cuff. There's a little paw sticking out. Gosh, it looks so goofy. I'm here for it. Maybe we'll show a little bit of the neck kind of coming out of the back there with a spike. Perfect. Love it. We seem to draw this foot a lot smaller than that foot, and this one's closer, so we'll have to adjust that. I say we, but I'm just trying to palm my problems and mistakes off on you guys. Got a little button up here. See the fuzzies of his elbow over here. And make sure not to knock my cup over on the floor, because I've got no desk space for it here. He seems to have shoes on of some sort. But we'll kind of give him just little paws. So we can kind of see his little feet They look kind of like shoes that are just like the top of his foot. Little fuzz. That part of the song, that's a weird way to end it. Doesn't really fit with the rest of it. The ho 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 ho. Ooh ho ho. That's good. You should. The ridges of his mouth. Beautiful. It's the wrong way for that horn to go. And our Vigor Wasp. Set my phone over here. What does our Vigor Wasp look like? It's pretty simple. Kind of looks like a friendly little bee. Holding up a big bulbous, so essentially big bulbous healing sac. That's what we'll call it. That's a great choice of words. And on top of it, we got a little bee. Adorable. If you don't find some insects like fuzzy bees adorable, you must are wrong. I'm kind of drawing single links, but it's more of another little fuzzy appendage. Fuzzy, big butt, bug butt. Give it some wings, big enough to, in under fantasy terms, logically carry this big cat. And it's a little bit weird in perspective, or it can be. So why don't we take this and transform it a little bit. How's the size of that? He's tiny in comparison to our hunter. So we'll want to make him a little bit bigger. That's fine. So we're to put him next to him, the hunter. They'd want to be like that. But they're in the background, of course, so they're a little bit smaller. Maybe something like that, and then we'll give it a little bit of a perspective. Transform perspective. How weird does that look? Round 2. The only thing about this, I think, is that they're a little bit short. We can fix that by doing a free transform. I'm mostly okay with that, I think. Oops, did not mean to draw that line. That's okay. Now if we look at that in the context of the rest of our image, it's cool. Gonna go in and erase the background that we had planned behind that. Okay, so now we got new plans. I think that fits into the background quite nicely, actually. Fills up that space a little bit. Gives our hunter or huntress or any little help they can get, any little bit of healing they need. Did I delete that right there? Oops, doesn't really matter. Now, get rid of that background sketch. We can go back into our foreground layer where we had, where we were drawing our characters. Put it back down to 30% opacity for our sketch layer. And we can take our line pen and make sure we're on the right settings. Make sure I'm not going to be on the setting where I might accidentally change my pen size. Perfect. Black. Double check. Go onto our layer. That's our hunter and palico layer. Was just our hunter layer yesterday. And now we should have a decent enough pen size to do all of the details that we need to do. But first, a quick drink of soda. Anything that blue should not be consumed by the human body, but here I am anyways. What do I have to lose? Progress in this? Haha, no I don't. Save. See this icon right here? Grayed out, which means it's saved. Gotcha. So, quickly we're gonna go through and line our kitty here. Let's start with the face. Give him the big chin. The crazy tongue that's sticking out. Almost like venom. Not really clear how far those teeth go, but oh, well, last one was too much. That's good enough for me. Ridge of the eye. Well, instead of the ridge of the eye, should just be more of the ridge of the entire head. black hole in their mouth insinuating they're ready to just eat this monster whole. Or all the food that the Meowster chef, the Meowskiller chef, cooks for them. They're like really designed. We can't really see any specific design on the coat arms from this angle. We can see that kind of see the little clasps here. I gotta go too insane with the design because we'll be able to tell what it is. It's not like at this point does it really matter. For that line being red, we could always just come in and change the color of the line rather than trying to have so much tiny detail that we fill in the line. I think it'll just come in and change it. Luckily for us, it's kind of a small figure at this point, so it's not going to take very long to line at all. You want to see our little foot bean here. Boop. Why can't I draw the shape of his foot in a good, proper way? That's good enough. Apparently they have 3 toes. I've decided that. No, we should be able to see that before seeing the rim of the coat, just because of the angle of the foot. Perfect. Now we just need to draw on our bug friend. If we get rid of the sketch layer, how are we looking? Jeez. Chaotic. I love it. Love it. Love the chaos. We'll get the coloring before we know it. I haven't made a color palette for this. Don't know if I will, or if we'll just wing it. It'd be nice to have a color palette off to the left, and I might color pick. We'll see. I can have another window down here that's color palette. That's a problem because this figure wasp is really small. No problem, just a fun challenge. It'll add nice contrast though because there's not any greens in the rest of this drawing that I can think of. So having a little bit of splash of green here will really stand out among the rest of the elements. That's really good. One wing, 2 wing, 2 wing, this wing, that wing, the wing should be visible above that. I like it. I Like it, like it. See, this here, it's kind of hard to tell the tiny details that you have. The foot angle, the angle of this foot doesn't quite look right. That looks a little bit better. More facing us. Save it. Good. Can we go on to lining? Oh, there's something I forgot to get rid of yesterday. We got rid of this kind of idea of having a clear line difference of like the gray and the gold on Koltaroth here, so we're gonna keep that as is. Save. I didn't go through and widen the base of that pillar, did I? Of course I didn't. Cool. Okay, it's apparently already almost 4 o'clock. What have I done with my day? Video games and running around to get a Popeye's chicken sandwich. That's what I've done with today. It was good though. Okay, so we're gonna be closing these up and going on to mid-ground. How did I want to separate these? I know I have mid-ground and background separate. I might do mid-ground being this pillar, these kind of rocks, and then a lot of the stalactites up until maybe about here on the pillar, and then the rest do background. I think that's not a bad idea. And a mid-ground might also consist of the molten gold dropping. Now we're going to drop this opacity down to 30. And start going. So we're going to go to background here and we need a vector layer for our... No, we're not doing background yet. Well, we'll have this layer here anyways because we're going to need it later. But for now, we're going to do mid-ground. Lines, but mid-ground. You're in mid-ground. Vector this with so mid-ground. I think that we're gonna stick with the 3-pixel pen, and then background we'll go into a 2-pixel. I think is my plan because we don't want to do 1 pixel. 1 just doesn't really show up. 2 will still show up, but 3 is what we want to be doing for right now. We're on lines and we're on the mid-ground layer. Perfect. Where do we start with? Well, let's start down at the bottom here. So even with 3-pixel width, we can still kind of have some variation in line width for some of this detail here. I don't want to do too much of it because a lot of the detail can just be done with shading later. It's good to make it not just look boring. I don't think it was missing anything there. Nope. Alright. If we can do the pillar up until the top there. finding good places to separate, because it's kind of good just to go for just continue to line, especially when it's kind of more rough and jagged like this. Some people are good at tracing. I particularly was always fond of, not fond, but just kind of good at tracing when I was younger. I would sit there and I had a comic book, or not a comic book, a book that was like how to draw Sonic the Hedgehog from the old Sonic the Hedgehog television shows. And I would just sit there and trace and trace and trace and trace and give those trace drawings to people, and they think it was so cool. This is a memory from back in like the 3rd grade, or 5th grade maybe? No, yeah, 5th grade. So I was definitely, I don't remember a lot of those times, but like I can't remember the classes I had back there, except for maybe like multiplication tests. But I can totally remember drawing Sonic the Hedgehog over and over again. It's gonna be so satisfying to block in colors and have this all filled in. Let's try and avoid doing that on the same line as the design of the horn. And of course, again, it looks like this because in the game, the central pillar can kind of just be used to propel yourself off and try and hit higher points slash mount the monster. And so you kind of have some series of jagged footholds almost. It makes me reminisce and think of rock climbing. Back when I was in college before I graduated last June, I was getting really, really into rock climbing as like my only source of exercise that I was doing regularly. I was doing that the entire winter semester, or winter term, I should say. It was a quarter, and until everything, went up in flames and COVID hit, and I had essentially didn't have to, but it was a smart choice to just move back home. And I moved back home to live with my family, and now around here we don't have a nice rock climbing gym, just like our college did. And it was like literally 2-second walk away from rock climbing whenever I felt like it down there. It was such a good time, and now I haven't done it in so long, and probably over a year now. I haven't done it. Out of shape, but I would love to. Climb up a rock wall and propel myself offwards to whack this gigantic axe, sword, shield combination into a gigantic monster. What I wouldn't give. If someone can set up an experience like that for me in Japan or something, do it. You'll make my money. Still, I guess there's not a lot of point in putting detail here because this guy just get completely covered up with Kulftaroth glowing and ready to fire, if that makes any sense. Their mouth preparing to do that, but probably have some visibility behind it. Coming together. Coming together. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see your idea, because the most difficult And critical part of your entire drawing is the sketch. The sketch is where all your ideas come from. And a lot of this is just filling in that sketch, and it's bringing that sketch to life, because you could take this sketch to anyone, have them color it and line it and do it way better than I'm doing. But if you want the ideas of what everything looks like, that's the sketch, and that's the person's signature touch. So, okay, save that, get another drink, and then I think we're gonna line a majority of the stalactites kind of more in the foreground. Make sure I'm not missing any communication from people. What notifications is I'm getting from there? Ah, Twitch trying to notify me of myself. How dare they? Okay, stalactites. Oh, and the gold dripping down. Should I might do that on its own layer? No, I don't think so. Well, we'll do that afterwards. We'll start lining these in. These are gonna be the fun parts, the annoying parts to line in. The really annoying part to line in to make sure like no lines are crossing over each other. So get ready for Triangle City for the next 30 minutes. Gotta love those tries. Is this Monster Hunter Try or is this 3D modeling? If this isn't a therapeutic experience, I don't know what is. Take me to a nice spa, give me a back massage, sit in the sauna for a little bit, then come to a computer and draw polygon, diagonal, triangular, whatever you want to call them, shapes for 30 minutes. You'll feel well rested. I say well rested, but my hand's starting to be like, we don't like this. I put a new tip on my stylus, so it's a little bit rougher. And I'm finding myself pushing a lot harder onto my tablet surface. And boy, I don't want to ruin my hand like that, because I can have some tendonitis flare up, and I would rather not. Make sure this connects with our pillar here, and now it's not something special. The connections we make along the way. You think this is fun? Wait till we get to shade all of these. Shading stalactites? Not all of them. We'll give like a general shading, but a lot of them just kind of darker, weirder, up in the business of the other stalactites. Stalactite Fiesta over here. Wow. Looks amazing. You can't beat quality like that. You know what? I just know it's gonna look cool when it's done, so I don't care about the repetitive nature. May as well just go all along the top here so we don't have to keep kind of working our way up, per se. Get close together. Happy little third wheel over here is not quite in place yet. There we go. Like me all throughout high school. Note to self, do not put massive amounts of pressure onto your tablet while you're drawing, or else your hand's gonna give up on you before too long. Probably doesn't help though. I was playing Doom Eternal last night. If you were here yesterday, I saw my friend Mike and I talking about the challenging, fun times that is Doom Eternal. Are we on the right settings still? 3, G-Pen, black, that amount of anti-aliasing, good. And I was finally playing it more last night, and I had to get good. I had to finally just say I'm bad at this game and learn how to play it better. I don't do that often. Sometimes I'm just kind of stubborn and do what I want and just work around how bad I am. No, I had to get good. Basically, if you're not switching between Ballista and Super Shotgun by constantly and spamming that against enemies, unless you have to get more ammo, health, or armor, you're gonna die in 2 seconds. puppy Roger is still in here. Means that Dad's probably gonna come take him for a walk soon. Is that about good for that side of the other? For mid-ground, that's about good. This is a little bit extra, doesn't quite need to be there. That looks good to me. Oh yeah, I totally thought that this ice crunching into my microphone is going to be great audio. Hey, we got our first drop of lava. We're at molten gold right here. Good, good. Adds nice contrast to the jagged edges of everything above it. I think this is really coming together. Goofy boy. His name is Duncan, for anyone who ever wants to know what my cat's name in Monster Hunter games is. It's always Duncan. save. And it did creep up a little bit into the line above. That's too far zoomed in. It's all about finding the balance of where's a good place for you to be drawing. Quick check to make sure we're still on the right layer. Oh yeah, wouldn't that suck? Wouldn't that suck? I don't know how we would have switched, but I have done crazy things. That's why it's good that I'm not usually using my keyboard all that often, is I'm not really pressing buttons on accident without knowledge of it. I used to do that all the time. Mm. These are solid lines. They are corporeal. I should have been counting to see exactly how many stalactites I have here, just to know how much I will suffer later. What happened to your wrist, Brian? Oh, the thousands and thousands of stalactites. The 2,187 stalactites that independently stabbed and ruined every single tendon, every single bone in my wrist. Have you gone spelunking lately, Brian? No, I was in my bedroom. Really should clean the ceiling off sometimes. That good? That looks pretty good. Save her up, and then we'll just, the only thing left in the mid-ground line layer to draw is the molten gold falling down, and then we gotta just go to the background where we'll switch to a 2 pixel width pen, And we'll get through the rest of the lines. And then we'll just block in our colors, which I'm excited to finally see. See what this looks like. Take that sketch off. Look at that. That's clean. I feel like I get some clean line work done here and there. All out. I'd say for just over an hour streaming, it's a pretty good amount of progress. Hmm. Molten gold. Now, since this almost matches up with the new lines for the bottom of the stalactites, I'll raise it up a little bit. This is molten gold coming off of a rock that's kind of crumbling down. Just add a little bit of variety. Instead of just streams of it, add a little bit of jagged underneath this nice rounded edges. Contrast. I like to tell myself that. Alright. There. Oh, will I pick my pen up off the tablet? It's just going in one straight line. Bam. No need to pick it up. Gives some distinction to know that those are the rocks and they're different from the molten gold. Beautiful. Alright. Mid-ground line work. Done? I guess. And see if we just have that. That's all it is. That's fine though. Get rid of our sketch layer. Clean. Clean though. Now we got to go to our background lines, and for here we are, as I said, going down to a 2. I think that'll look okay. Remember, that's what it looked like before. Of all the layers, this is what it looked like before. The line work on top of that is major improvement just to see how we got here. Alright. This is gonna be fun. Where do we want to start? Let's start up top. Let's just finish these stalactites and be done with the triangles. Hey, Waylon, how you doing? Have a free afternoon to come watch me draw stalactites for 2 trillion hours? Cause that's what I've been doing. Not only did I draw more, but now I'm going over them with lines. How did you? What are you up to this afternoon? Is that gonna be enough line width? Maybe we'll do 2.5. That might be better. Planning out my D&D session for tonight while watching you. What? So what D&D group is this? Who all are you playing with at the moment? Cameron's work group from Ace. Oh, okay. So is Ricky part of that? Because I think Ricky's also working at Ace along with Cameron, or am I mistaken? Ask. Oh God, I haven't played D&D in a group of people for so long. When was the last time I would have? Oh, I guess it would have been a year ago now, because I was part of a group down at school before I had to leave because of COVID. That was wonderful. Nice. What hellish adventures are you throwing them into today, or is it gonna be more of a relaxed day? How's my day been? It's Tuesday, so I started off by playing some Nintendo Switch with my friend Gage. We played some Super Mario 3D World, getting towards the end of that, which means that we're just having for 2 grown adults, we should be having an easier time with it. And then the only other thing of significance today is my dad and I went all the way to the Popeyes at a truck stop a little ways away so we could try the Popeyes chicken sandwich, because we're tasting and trying out the chicken sandwich wars, and it was really good actually. I gotta say, the Popeyes chicken sandwich was really good. Sounds like a grand day so far. Yeah, it could have been worse. As I was talking to no one, I think earlier, I was up late trying to play the Doom Eternal DLC, because the second part of the DLC came out I think it was last Thursday, and so I was playing the second level of it. And I haven't played such a difficult and challenging video game in a long long time, and I was getting very frustrated after spending 2 hours on just one part of the level, and it forced me to get good. And so the satisfaction of being able to sleep a good night's rest after completing something I had been struggling at for a couple hours, I at least got a decent, good night's rest. If I hadn't finished it, I probably would have either stayed up really late or just got very little sleep and woke up in the morning to keep trying to grind away at it. How many people are in that D&D group, by the way? He said a group of people from Cameron's work. Is that a small group or like a fairly sizable group? Maybe he's told me before, I don't remember. Five people. That's a good group. It's not the craziest group size I've ever had. Five is good, I think. I remember trying to DM before where it got to like 8 or 9 people, and it's just, you can't satisfy everybody. You got half of the group over there, over on one side with their phones, while 2 or 3 people actually try to pay attention to what's going on, or like they're the only ones who are actually engaged in what is happening. So that's a good sizable group. Although kind of, when it gets too big, it can be kind of difficult to plan good encounters for them that aren't super easy. I know, I would love to join you. This week especially isn't great, as I was telling a friend, because my little sister's coming home, because it's spring break. My little sister's coming home from college to visit on Thursday through Saturday. And she has to take a lot of precautions at school because she works as both an RA and she also works in the labs down there for her microbiology degree. And so she can't really be risking any contact with people who could possibly be infected, me including, bringing it into the home. So this week especially I have to be a little bit careful about things. Otherwise I would love to come join you, so maybe in the future or maybe before too long, as long as I'm still here in the States. Two haven't played before. So wait, is this the first brand new session for this evening? Like brand new group and everything? Ah, okay. Has this been basically an every sort of week thing, or whenever you get the chance to do it? Because I assume during these times it's kind of hard to get a consistent. I mean, D&D's always been notorious for terrible consistency with game sessions, but I can't imagine that's easy to do right now. You remember when it was when I had you DM for my 2 friends and I online? This was maybe like 3 years ago now when we tried doing that. It like, that would be a good way to go about it, is trying to do it online, but that just never worked out because it was bad circumstances for you and I at the time for being busy. Yeah, I think I might have actually finally deleted the Discord group that I had for that. It was called Late Night D&D with Assy, I think is what it was. Because I think you and I were still in it, but like it was never. Oh no, I think it was only me left in it. No one ever used it anymore. It's sad because every big, except for the D&D group that I ran for 2 years at college, my first 2 years at college, every D&D group I've ever been a part of or tried to run, they just go poof. People get busy. It's not the greatest group of people. People don't get along. And like I said, I found a good group of people to play with down at school this last year before having to come back home. I was playing essentially the greater dog from Undertale. I was a dog with sentience who wore armor and was a paladin. He was the goodest of boys. And we were doing Curse of Strahd. My first time ever going through that. And like the last session that we were able to do is me being a doom dog and going outside at night and encountering a bunch of werewolves, to which the werewolves promptly attacked me, and I was barely saved by our artificer. but like there was the whole whether or not my character was gonna die or turn to a werewolf somehow, even despite being already a dog race of some sort. It was unclear how that was gonna go, but it was hilarious and fun, and I'm sad that I had to give it up because I was having a good time playing the good boy. It sounded kinky how I first said what? The goodest boy? The sentient dog? No, nothing like that. No. I just wanted to be like the big and everybody hates me when I play D&D because I get really sick and tired of people who try to overanalyze and overthink and like, are we ready? We should prepare this. We should talk to literally every person in town, which is how I play video games, but not D&D. So I'll be like, my character's running off now. Are you gonna follow him and like continue the adventure or not? I am the person who pushes the adventure along. I don't care. Which can be good sometimes, or bad when I end up encountering a bunch of werewolves that I'm underleveled and can't take on. The goodest good boy. He was. Because paladins have to be, lawful good. They have to be the good guys. The holy people. And so I was just the goodest of boys who was doing that. Come on, what's the craziest character you've ever played as? A D&D group. You've got to have some crazy story. Caleb Arnold. Sounds familiar, like Michael. Oh, yes, I think so. Was this back from the group that you guys used to record? No, a different group. I feel like I remember the name Caleb for sure though, but not someone I know super personally. What crazy character did they have? He and I played 2 reptilians and ended up being cursed by the DM to fall in love, but couldn't tell each other. So everyone is out having a grand, epic, harrowing adventure, and you two are just sitting there in a very awkward. Do they know? I can't let them know, but I want them to know. I want to be with them, but I can't let them know. Sort of relationship. I could see that being hilarious. I could see you playing that off extremely well. Well, did you guys go on like, couldn't tell each other? So like, was there romance going on that was just kind of like nobody spoke of it? It was just like, yeah, it's happening, but we're not gonna talk about it, sort of thing. The unspoken flame, the forbidden love. Yeah, like when we were in combat, he would jump in to save me, or I would steal things for him. Adorable. Like the perfect Bonnie and Clyde. We literally couldn't tell each other. So it's just part of the curse that like the words could not pass your lips. Understood. That's tragic. Go write a story about that. That'll work for a good story. A group of a pair of adventurers who love each other but are cursed to never tell each other but save each other, and the only reason they're alive and still adventuring today is because of their secret love. That could be adorable. Someone could write a web series about that. Broken fanfic, especially with them being two reptilians. That definitely sounds like super fanfic territory. But you know what? There are people that consume that right up. Well, go on, Mr. Writer. Write it down. Make a story. Find a world to build around it. And also, I'm very well aware. I used to have people asking when I was on Wattpad to write fanfics like that. Yeah, I. That's why I tend to just like to draw whatever I want to draw rather than people, you know, asking me or requesting me to draw certain things because it could get weird, and I'm just like, I'd rather just draw this crazy cat. Look at that boy. Look at him. He's just a cat with a dragon head. Well, I say it's cat. It's supposed to be a cat, but he's wearing a dragon mask. Flying on bug save the hunter. That's what I want to draw. Not reptilians and that weird secretive love. Not necessarily my thing, but hey, it's for someone out there. Wow. Line art is done. Look at that. Woo! Let's I'm gonna save this as I'm gonna go to my camera here so I can save this without potentially exposing any parts of my computer. Export as the line art. First, yeah. Alright. It is a full... It is a full U? Huh? Ah, this, yes. Because I want to make sure I'm not, like, exposing any part of my computer. I don't know, you just gotta see save. And then here's the file where I'm saving it. Oh no, how scandalous, but I don't know. Nope. That's good. Come back to art. What I want to do is I want to see, because I'm having the chat pop up. Always show messages. Brown color. I want that to stay around. I don't know what that does. Well, let's try it out. I don't like that line art bit. I don't like the look of these rocks on top. Oh. Steam, what do you want? Steam wants to update, sure. And then I wanted to come back here onto the Palico layer, put this back to a 3 width, and then there needs to be a line there. There needs to be a line there. Yep, that works. Nope. Alright, I'm just stalling. I want to put in color, but I have to pick colors. I'm stalling. I have to pick it to be as accurate as possible. Oh no, my little menu bar down here. You can actually see that, yeah you can. Anything missing down here? Anything I wanted to change? There was something I wanted to change here. Cool. I don't think so. Stalling. May as well just start putting in some colors and seeing what happens. So, we're just gonna combine these together into a folder for sketch. And we will color up here first. So we'll add a layer called color. And here's her color. Essentially gold and dark gray. And we'll just see what happens, I suppose. Paint bucket tool at the ready. And let's find some colors that fit her. Yes. Refer other layers. That'd be good. That looks okay to me. Yeah, I think that looks okay to me. Well, there'll definitely be shine added to it afterwards. Let's see if we can add in some... We don't want any more than the 3 area scaling, honestly. Do we want closed gap on? I always... Yeah, this is fun. Fill up the vector path. Is that what we want? No. That's fine. Alright, well, we'll just have to go back through and we'll have to color in some of the weird triangle bits anyways. Gold. Perfect. Her nails, her toenails and claws. Her foot claws? Her toe claws? What would you call them? And now we're coloring, so we can have the option. We can definitely change our pen size as we see fit. Claws. Well, you know, she's a monster. She's a big dragon. And do you call them claws if they're on the toes? Do you call them hand claws? Finger claws? Santa Claus? The annoying part is I have to go through and make sure that all these get filled in properly, because I might have to redo this, because the ink bucket tool is not always the most reliable thing. Just claws. Nah, I know. I'm overthinking semantics. English was not designed for my brain. Or many people's brains, for that matter. Nope, too much. I don't have claws. Do you have claws? I don't know. Maybe, well, see, this is why you can't write that fan fiction about your reptilian characters. Because you wouldn't know how to refer to their claws. These are important questions that only I think about. Shower thoughts with Brian. It's nice to see some color. This is a toe claw. It deserves color. Be back. Gotta go pick up some pre-script. That's right. That's probably a good idea. You should do that before that closes. It's already 5 o'clock, so go have fun. Maybe see you when you get back. There's certainly easier ways, and also more difficult ways to do this. It's oh god, the stalactites up top. Problem with so many triangular shapes. I don't know how I want to do solid coloring on the horns, because their horns are mixed between the gold and a blue. Mostly blue though, so maybe I'll just do them kind of blue for now. Oh, I don't know, just add gold accents. Gotta look for where. Maybe I should have the background not be white. Let's just do a light gray. Right, and she's like a nice dark, something like this, down in this range. Oops. Yes, like that, but referring to other layers. Yeah, I like that. I think that's pretty good. Maybe too dark? So her foot maybe should have a line right there to divide it. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, let's put that in. Is that too dark? I don't think so. She is pretty dark. And it'll definitely be lightened up with lighting and shading later. Miss some gold accents here. I don't know what color to do her teeth. It might also just be gold. might do more gold accents around that aren't contained in our outline, because I think that's a good idea. Because this is not a dark area, this is a very bright area. Lots of red lights. She's gonna have red eyes. Bright white, bright yellow. Honestly, more orange than that. And then her horns. We'll do the blue first mostly. Go in and add the gold accents where we need to. Because they're not entirely blue. Maybe we need to be a little bit more gray than that blue. That's not bad. Oops, wrong color. Let's go back into here and looking at some of her face and stuff. You can see that she's got lots of gold spots up and around here. Her face. Especially on her arms and stuff. And then same with the gray. You know that she's got bits of gray in between some of these spikes down here. We'll try and do that in the as best we can way. without breaking the kind of continuity. I just thought it was kind of weird to do this with solid black lines earlier, so that's why we're not doing that entirely. More accents on her feet and her knees area. And her horns, I don't know, it seems to be definitely around like the ridges of horns. Yep. Puppies are going for a walk, which means they get some exercise they well deserve. Because they've been lying around all day being lazy, like me. So, let's see how we want to color these horns here. Definitely feels like beginning of them is a lot of gold accent. Right close to where they attach to the head. And of course, this is gonna be some of the most time-consuming coloring because it's not just flat colors; it's a lot of accent colors, whereas the rest can be done kind of in shading. This can't be so much. It's honestly not looking too bad. Not looking too bad at all. It kind of grays out towards the bottom. The swirl definitely feels like it's mostly gold. Doesn't have to be cohesive, just has to be kind of with a theme. General theme of how we want these to look. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. Because usually for lighting, I just kind of do an overlay layer with white light, but it's definitely a lot more red light now. So I have to find a good way to really capture that vivid, bright, lava glow, bright, hot, glowing red light. So on top of just the kind of fills that we have, kind of doing streaks along it as it's kind of ribbed in. What I was kind of trying to do down here. No, I don't want that because it's going to turn more gray, so I'm not going to be filling in that so much. Ooh, that's not what I wanted, but that looks cool. Cool perspective of it. I definitely did not finish that section. Yeah, now kind of just to keep defining the shape of these horns, these kind of ribbings can help with that. That doesn't look so bad. This isn't such bad progress for 2 hours of work. And then we'll take this, and since they kind of gray out, take this blue, go up in the gray section here. Yeah. I think that's kind of good, and just kind of have a border where they kind of just go gray. I find a better way to kind of mix the blue in with this. That looks like a smiley face. That's not too bad, I don't think. I think we need a drink out of the big water bottle. Awful lighting. Wait, it looks nice and red. Check into people who are trying to get a hold of me. Friend talking about the Xenoblade. Okay, let's get more colored. Well, the same layer of this should be the ground underneath them, so we should kind of determine how the ground is going to look. And I had an idea in my head of how I wanted to do the ground. Two options. I could just select that ground area and just color in blocks of what it should look like, or I could create a texture and spread it to that area, but that might be a little bit crazy. See if we can just properly select it with our magic wand tool. Seems like we can. Is that selected all the way to the edge? That looks good to me. And get rid of that. First, let's just fill it in with a gray, a brownish gray towards the red spectrum. That's not bad. Maybe a little bit darker. Yeah, a little bit darker. So now we're only drawing this in this, and so if I wanted to go to like the yellows and kind of just put texture to it. There's not going to be a lot of shadows on the ground because of just how light it is in general here. coming up with some sort of goofy ground texture. And we'll keep playing with it. The only thing I always have with painting, with filling in lights over darks, is I always just, I don't know what I have to do to not to, well, let's figure out where the, that's about good. 37 is too high, 36 is too high, 35 is just right. So I have to fill in a little bit. And again, I'm not really so sure how I feel about what we're doing with Kolturos' tail here. And honestly, might just not do what we were doing. Oh, we can't do that at the moment because we're currently selected to this area we're working on. That's fine. Luckily, I can't color outside of it. I am all powerful. Man, I'm liking the solid colors already on this are looking good. What time is it? For almost 5:30. Cool, cool, cool. Boom, 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 boom. Oops. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect. Let's fill in some areas in between. I might have to make this gray, so I might put like a neutral gray over the top of it. Try and gray it out a little bit. Now we're gonna take this gray and we're gonna kind of break up what we already have. This brown, I should say, and break up what we already have to make it less consistent. So we just have splotches of stuff willy-nilly. That's actually not looking too bad. It's got good texture to it, I think. Something very befitting of my style. I like it. There's some things where you just look at it and it's coming together, you know, because up until now you kind of like, I don't know if this is working, I don't know if it's coming together exactly how I wanted it to, and then you get something like this, you're like, yep, yeah, I'm liking it. It's starting to really kind of piece together in your mind, so you know everything from here is going to be kind of fun. Alright. Do we want to kind of make that more of a grayish? Let's see here. So what we could do for that, we could refer only to editing layer because we currently have this area selected. We could kind of go to a grayish brown here. We could go to a opacity of maybe 50. I meant refer. Oh. Yes, well, this would be more of a cradle layer above it. No. 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 It might be good at where it's at. Hmm. You gotta get rid of that. No, it's too dark. Probably should just keep it how it is for now. And we can change a lot of that later. Make it even rougher, I think. What we could do is we could take this here, put it onto spray, and maybe particle density is low. There we go. Make it even more dirty. It's a cavern floor. Same with this. Same with the lighter. Perfect, I think. What do I think of that? I think that looks pretty good for the first layer of colors. Ooh. Some of the hardest stuff. That's right, we're undoing what I did to Kolthros' tail. Because I don't like it. I've tried it. I've determined I don't like it. I'm doing this all in the correct layer, right? Good. Nope. Shrink the pen size down. Perfect. That's just how that line goes. Okay. Now. Hunter and Palico color. The hunter, it's gonna take a lot of color. Let's do the Palico first. This could be a lot less effort compared to the hunter. Let's get our reference up for Palico. For Duncan. First things first. Get a paint bucket tool out and make sure we're referring to other layers because we wanted to know where our lines are. We got Fatalis, which is kind of, it's purple, very grayish purple. That's good for me. Could be more gray than that, but I want the contrast. Got red eyes. And kind of yellow tips to the end of his horns. Yellow spike on his back. This should also be purple. His neck should also be purple. I guess kind of an orangish ton. Maybe a little bit more red than that. And maybe the entire inside of his mouth should be. The rest of his mouth should be kind of a dark red, I think. Yeah. Works good. Works for me. Cat's feet. Duncan's a gray color, like that. Like a light gray is probably good. I remember in World I made him kind of like very scarred and beat up, war torn, because it was... World was the third monster in that game I played. Yes. Because I played 4 Ultimate first, then I played World, and then I played... No, sorry, 4 Ultimate, and then Generations, and then World, and then Generations Ultimate. World Iceborne, and all that expansion. Now it's about to be Rise. His hand up here will be that color also. We need to do the teeth. We can do the teeth like a nice white. We need a really small pen for coloring in the teeth. Well, the teeth are more of the yellow of the spine. Why don't we do that then? That fits more with what the overall look is. Perfect. Maybe a color like that for a jacket. Maybe a little bit brighter. Sure. Looks good to me. Increase the size of this. With the toe beans, or the foot beans. Very quick, let's get a light pink in there. Give his little kitty foot beans. For the, auto saving. We don't want a pure white, maybe a slightly off-white for the fuzz of the coat. This needs to be that same jacket color. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I see what I think. I see. Cool. I see why those boots work, but I'm okay with this. Creative liberties. What I'm choosing to make it look like. We got kind of a light green. I always try to pick colors rather than, or at least nowadays, I always try to pick colors rather than just choosing from my palette over there, because you usually get something a lot more interesting. And also it can just kind of look dull if you kind of stick with that basic default palette. I think I'll make sure it turns red later on. Or Vigor Wasp. We need to know exactly what colors that Vigor Wasp looks like. Bright green. Well, first of all, I'm gonna take some of this tan from that. Just kind of add some accents. Now we'll take a light green. Vigor Wasp color green. I like that. Again, nice thing about these colors is they're going to stand out very well against a cave background. We're on the right layer. Yes, we are. Where's our more accents here? And our Vigor Wasp is yellow. Get some dark eyes. But then he's bright, kind of a nice fuzzy yellow, soft. Maybe a little bit lighter than that even. Stand out in the background. All these parts will be yellow, and then we'll go ahead and add some darker brownish accents, it looks like. And we'll go into here, kind of get a fuzzy. I don't know why I'm calling it color fuzzy, but that's what makes sense to me. No, that's more of a shading. We need more of a color change. And the white wings. That is a Palico named Duncan colored in. Now it is 5:47, and I would like to get the Hunter colored in, but that might be wishful thinking. I can do it though. We've only been going for 2.5 hours, which means we're getting close to like 9 hours of working on this piece. And why something like this would, hey, having this be like, if I were to try and do commissions, of having this be like a normal quality for commissions pieces would take a while. Alright, Hunter. First of all, let's get your skin. She's pale. I think I like her as like almost the most pale skin color you could have in the game. And kind of silvery hair. And I'll shade the hair later when I do the shading layers. So first of all, kind of like a dark brownish ruffle is what this is. Fur. Not quite that brown, a little bit more gray than that. A little more brown than that. That's okay. You know what, we might kind of color pick for some of these things. Yeah, that works. Let me go a little bit lighter. Yeah. But all is blue. Not the side ones. Not the side ones in the side pose. These are white. That's a better image of it. These down here. Oh, cool. Look at that. Look at me not going back to finish a line on something. That's alright though. That was a really short fix. What else is blue? This teal. This is. What else? Can't think of anything else that's visible that is gonna be that color. I can see what else is gonna be your skin color though. Thigh right there. Thigh right there. And any of the arm? No, the arm is this but darker. And then we do the cape. The cape. Maybe something like that. Yeah. I think so. Lots of shading to have him play later. And that'll be the same color that we use for like this cloth bit. do the bright yellow. This bright yellow we have here. Along there. Coming along, coming along, coming along. See, the problem with the coloring is a lot of the color is going to affect what we do with that. That's fine. Kind of got like a bronzish color to do on the wirebug. Not wirebug, the scout bug case. Inside is just a bright yellow, bright light green, which will have a glow added to it later. But for now, solid colors. And you know what? Honestly, I kind of want to redraw that line. You know what? It's gonna be really hard to do it later. I'm gonna redraw it now while I want to. There we go. See if we can get back to the colors that we were using. We're on the right layer now. We are. Let's straighten that line out. It makes it look a little bit better. Maybe not that dark, but maybe like that dark on top. It comes down on the rim here. Okay. We need like the white silver that we use for a lot of the armor. I think that'll be that color. Hmm. Oh. Let's get more of a color like that for this part of the cape. And then, would that be good for, yeah. It's gotta be a little bit darker for metal. Yeah. A lot of these accent colors. What does it look like here? And of course, that's really blurry, so it's kind of hard to see, but or do our best to interpret. Do our best to interpret and have an artistic representation of what it is. I like it though. I'm going to imagine that this is about the same as that, and this is about the same as that. Where's the side view of our hunter? That's that color, this is that color. Underneath is going to be the same color as this, a little bit. Luckily this will all just be shaded with one sort of simple shading layer. Real quick, we got a red to deal with. Brighter. That's fine. We gotta just pick color. This is a like a dark gray with that gold accent over it. This is a gold accent. Now let's just go ahead and be ballsy and pick a color. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my goodness gracious. We never drew the lines. Of the Slainer coming off of there. Alright, lines, here we go. 3-pen, Imperial Black. We need it. From right here. Mm, 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 mm. That's fine. What YouTube notification am I getting at 6:01? Oops, that's not what I wanted. Alright, that's okay enough. I don't like this because it's gotta be pointed down, so it can't really look like that angle. Oh, okay. coloring. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Need to make color decisions. Like, let's see. Something like that might be good for the color of the armor. Yeah, it's a good contrast. I like that. That's a good contrast. Yes. Okay. So in reality, this is really the same color. For some reason, I was thinking it's a different color. It's not. It's the same color. Okay. A bit of bronze color again for this. That's fine. Yeah, look at that pop now. That's really starting to pop and I like it. Hunter, you are complicated, but I like it. It's a nice challenge. Oh. Probably could be dinner soon, but I don't know when. Need that gold, no, not that. This gold. That gold? This gold. Yeah, this gold needs to accent this bit. We need, maybe we'll take that dark gray and use that to fill in this. Alright. Is it just coloring the weapon now, I think? Well, let's get the most basic colors of the weapon blocked in then. Ooh, that's a much better view for how the weapon looks than that. At least for the colors, that's gonna be a better view for it. Let's see here. Kind of want to start. Oops. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Let's get the big colors out of the way. Even brighter than that. Even lighter than that. More orange? Something like that. Less orange. Oh gosh. Oh. I don't know about that. Let's try that. Now I kind of need this other perspective for that. Kind of has a like almost tealish blue, like a dark teal. Yeah. Deeper in blue. Yeah. And this one we go much more orange. Much more orange down for that. Even further down. Yep. is the very basic down version of the design. So this same grade will be used here. This same grade will be used here. Wow, my voice really got low there. Use a lighter gray. Maybe one in between. Yeah, one in between. Mm-hmm. I'm going to assume it looks darker, but just because of the layer it's on. Looks like the handle is the same color. Alright, you know what? That doesn't look too bad. I've been kind of silent because I've just been going through these colors, but that doesn't honestly look too bad. Can we take this and kind of take our pen tool and kind of go for a bit of a design here? That's what I'm going to try and do. See, this starts to look fine. Just so it's not plain. background's not too bad. It's a design. It's there. It's new. It's hip. What does this look like? This design when it's on this side. Very much it's kind of like triangular, diagonal scales. So. Something like that. Yeah, something like this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Color margin is still really high, huh? Yes, it is. You know what? It's not the most sensible thing, but I think it's trying to add to some of that design to it. Not perfect. It's not going to be, but oh look, my headphones are starting to die. It's almost like it's trying to tell me, hey, you're done. Which I almost am, because it's gonna be dinner time soon. But I'm trying to just do this and get this somewhat done. Whoever the one person is who's been sitting here watching the entire time, thank you for sticking around and watch me just go through such nonsense. if we undo that, can we see where color might be missed? I don't think there's anywhere where color is missed. What I think that I need to do is I need to take something like this, and there's a couple triangles. Still on the right layer, yes? Thank goodness. And yep, my headphones need to be charged. It's the end of the road. There. There. And something like right there before that. Yeah. Well, there we... No, that's not what I want. I want that full. I want to kind of... Well then, look at that. Okay. Bumped my pen against this thing. Gotta make sure I don't break anything. Alrighty. I think that's a good place to call for today. Lots and lots and lots of work done. The entire foreground has been colored. Look at that. Alright, well, whoever that one person was who sat here and watched for however long now, thank you very much. And, you'll have to catch it on next time. Probably tomorrow. I'm gonna try and get up again and keep working on this. Gonna get this done before Friday, I hope. Although there's still a lot of work to be done. Little less now. A little less work to be done now. So, thank you very much, whoever you are, and hopefully you join again next time. Bye bye.